She won't explicitly tell you, and she might pretend to be fine. Yet, her body will subtly reveal her true desires for you. When a woman is captivated, her body emits silent signals, small, revealing signs that most men overlook. Her hands become restless, her gaze frequently drifts to unexpected places, and even her breathing, movements, and goodbyes change. Failing to recognize these signs means losing an opportunity. Understanding them means commanding the interaction. Here are 7 raw, undeniable indicators that she's deeply attracted to Usain's women, never voice, but always display. Once you perceive them, you won't be able to unsee them. 1. Unconscious. Self-touching. Shan't stop touching herself, often without conscious awareness. You've likely witnessed it. Even if your conscious mind didn't register it, your subconscious did. This is a primal, clear indicator that her body is overriding her mind when she repeatedly touches herself in your vicinity. This isn't overt or obvious. Rather, it's about subtle, almost involuntary movements she can't control. She might adjust her hair, fiddle with her necklace, caress her collarbone, or play with her lips. It's as if her hands are restless, drawn to her own body, because, on some level, she's picturing you there instead. This is pure biology. Arousal triggers the nervous system before the mind fully processes it. She fidgets, she strokes, creating a physical release for her internal feelings. It's not a performance. It's instinct, and it's a definite giveaway. Observe closely, though, next time you're with her. Her hand might hover near her neck, stroking that sensitive skin. She might tuck her hair behind her ear, exposing her throat, a profoundly vulnerable gesture. Or she might slowly, absently, run her thumb along her lower lip, seemingly unaware of her actions. These actions aren't random. They are primal signals. The less she's aware of doing them, the more genuine they are. You can easily spot a deliberate performance in exaggerated hair twirl or an obviously seductive pose. But when she's genuinely aroused, her body simply reacts without conscious thought. Her hands gravitate to where her thoughts already are. This is where most men miss the crucial signals, too focused on her words or their own anxiety to interpret what her body is conveying. However, the man who observes and comprehends sees an open book, not just a woman. The moment you notice this, you'll feel a shift. The conversation gains a new depth, and an undeniable electricity fills the air. You're no longer just 2 people conversing. You're 2 bodies communicating in a secret language. This is when the power dynamic shifts. When you catch her unconsciously, touching herself and understand its meaning, you gain clarity and confidence. You're no longer guessing. You're orchestrating the interaction, and she senses it. So, what's your move? Don't point it out. Don't break the spell by making her self-conscious. Remain calm. Lean into your own composure as her body reveals her excitement. Allow her to feel safe enough to fully embrace that moment. This isn't about seizing an immediate opportunity. It's about grasping the unspoken. It's about seeing her not as an enigma, but as a collection of revealing tells that most men will never notice. And when you can discern those tells, you become more than just a man she's talking to. You become the man who ignites her nervous system. 2. Lingering gaze on your lips. You've experienced it before. That electrifying moment when a woman's gaze shifts from your eyes to your mouth. It starts subtly, a brief flicker, a quick glance downward as you speak. But then, it lingers. She's not just listening to your words. She's envisioning the sensation of your lips. And that's your undeniable cue. Psychologists refer to this as a micro-indicator of desire. It's primal, instinctual. The lips are among the most eroticized parts of the body, and when her attention shifts there, it's not by chance. Her mind is already ahead of the conversation, painting pictures of unspoken desires. Observe her closely. As you speak, does her gaze drop and remain on your mouth for more than a second? Does she subtly bite her own lip in response? Do her lips part slightly, as if subconsciously inviting you to bridge the distance? These aren't conscious choices. They are her body betraying her thoughts. The most telling sign: she doesn't even blink. When a woman is truly immersed in that moment, her pupils dilate, her breathing slows, and she becomes intensely focused. It's as if the rest of the room vanishes, and all she sees is the space between you, and how desperately she wants to eliminate it. Most men completely miss this, assuming she's shy or zoning out, but the man who understands its true meaning doesn't need her to articulate it. He already knows. And this is where the power dynamic flips. When you notice her eyes fixed on your lips, and maintain your composure, continuing to speak, to guide, the interaction without faltering, you generate tension. A delicious, almost unbearable tension. It ceases to be mere conversation. It becomes foreplay. Every word, every pause, every moment of silence becomes charged. However, most men fall into a common trap. They rush it. They break the tension by leaning in too quickly, cracking a nervous joke, or touching their face. They signal that they've noticed, but lack the confidence to act on the information. A stoic man doesn't do that. He allows the silence to breathe. He lets her gaze linger. He maintains self-control in the moment, and by doing so, he controls the moment itself. Nothing frustrates a woman more than simmering desire, knowing he feels it too, but won't let it consume him. It's not about the kiss. It's about the weight of that longing, that look at your lips. That's her signaling that her mind has already crossed the line. She's already imagined the kiss, the taste, the feeling. And when you hold steady, when you don't succumb to the urgency, you amplify her desire even further. Here's the truth about women. They rarely articulate their true desires. They show them, and when she can't stop looking at your lips, when her voice softens and her words slow, when her gaze repeatedly shifts between your eyes and your mouth, she's revealing everything you need to know. The question is, can you remain calm enough to let her? The men who cannot handle that tension lose the moment. But the man who can hold it, who can endure the intensity without breaking, is the man she'll be thinking about long after the night ends. Because in that moment, you're not just the man she's talking to. You're the man she's already kissed 1,000 times in her mind. 3. She closes the distance. There's a point where a casual conversation transcends into something entirely different. It happens when she minimizes the physical space between you. She steps just within your personal bubble, not so much that anyone else would notice, but enough for you to feel it. The subtle warmth of her body, the faint scent of her skin, the undeniable electricity in the few inches separating you. This is never accidental. Proximity is one of the oldest, clearest indicators of desire. A woman who is interested in you will instinctively find ways to be near you closer than necessary, closer than mere politeness dictates. She might lean in to speak, even when it's not required. She could brush past you in a room with ample space, or accidentally stand so close that your arm grazes hers, then remain there as if nothing occurred. Most men dismiss this, believing it's just friendliness or politeness. But you are not most men. You recognize it for what it truly is, a green light. What makes this so potent is that it's not just physical, it's deeply psychological. When a woman moves into your space in this manner, she is giving you unspoken permission. She is communicating, without uttering a word, I feel safe here. I want you here. I desire this closeness. She is lowering the invisible barrier that women maintain around men they are not interested in. And it's not random. Her body language clearly gives it away. When she steps close, she doesn't pull back. She doesn't cross her arms or shift her weight away. Instead, she orients herself fully toward you, completely present, almost magnetized. Her hips might angle in your direction. Her chest turns toward you. Her eyes meet yours and hold your gaze. And the longer she maintains that proximity, the louder her body speaks. This is where most men falter. They panic. They either rush in too quickly, attempting to bridge a gap she hasn't fully invited them to cross, or they retreat out of fear, breaking the moment. A Stoic man does neither. He remains calm. He feels the warmth, the tension, the invitation, and he allows it to intensify. He doesn't lunge forward. He doesn't fill the silence with nervous chatter. He holds his ground steady, unshakable, because the truth is, the longer you can remain in that tension without breaking, the more powerful it becomes. She begins to feel it, the energy thickening, the anticipation growing. She might even move closer, still testing, waiting to see if you can handle the unspoken invitation she's extending. And when you stand there, grounded and in control, letting her come to you instead of chasing herds, what she feels it most deeply. Not just attraction, but a subtle surrender to the moment. You're not merely a guy in her space, you're a man who commands it. That's the fundamental difference between boys and men. Boys rush, they can't manage the intensity. They yield to impulse. Men, true men, savor it. They understand that desire isn't solely in the touch, but in the anticipation, in the exquisitely unbearable stillness of being so close, yet not quite crossing the line. 4. Her voice softens and slows it. You truly want to discern when a woman has moved beyond casual conversation and entered the realm of desire. Don't just observe her body, listen to her voice. It's one of the most subtle, yet erotically charged signals a woman can give. When she is aroused or deeply drawn to you, her tone shifts. Her words emerge slower, softer. Her voice deepens, almost as if she's sharing a secret meant exclusively for you. This isn't merely coincidental. It's biological. When a woman is aroused, her vocal cords relax slightly, causing her voice to sound deeper and more intimate. She might not even realize it's happening, but you will. You'll hear it. You'll feel it. You're conversing, and suddenly, her sentences lengthen. There are extended pauses between her words. She lowers her volume, compelling you to lean in, which is precisely her intention. The interaction is no longer about exchanging information. It's about drawing you into her intimate space, making the conversation feel as if the two of you exist in a world of your own. And then there's her laugh, not the polite, superficial laugh she offers strangers. This laugh is different. It's deeper, warmer, with a slight breath at the end, almost like a sigh. It lingers, hinting at what she doesn't dare articulate. Pay close attention to how she phrases her words. Does she ask you more questions than necessary? Does she repeat your name during the conversation? Does she draw out certain phrases, almost as if savoring them? These aren't just habits. They are deliberate cues. Here's the crucial point. Once you notice this, everything shifts. The room feels quieter. The tension intensifies. It's no longer mere talk. It's foreplay conveyed through sound. And whether she acknowledges it or not, her body is inviting you closer. Most men completely miss this, preoccupied with the content of her words rather than the manner in which she delivers them. They assume she's simply being friendly. But the man who perceives the change, the man who catches the slow, breathless rhythm knows he's no longer just a conversation partner. He's the man she's speaking to, like a lover. So, what should you do when you hear it? Don't break the spell. Don't nervously joke or talk over her. Match her pace. Lower your voice, ever so slightly, creating a subtle mirror. Speak fewer words, but allow them to linger in the air. Make her gravitate closer, not just physically, but emotionally. Because the moment you adjust to her new tone, you seize control of the interaction. Suddenly, you're not just listening. You're guiding the conversation to a deeper level. This is where true seduction begins, not in physical touch, but in the unspoken rhythm between two voices. Hers, soft and teasing, yours, steady and deliberate. The boy hears her words. The man hears her need. And when you can discern that need in her tone and remain composed, not rushing, not fumbling, simply allowing the tension to build, she feels it. She feels understood, desired, and truly seen. And that's when she realizes she's not just talking to you. She's confessing in the only way she knows how. 5. Her breathing changes. Not due to conversation you can feign a smile or control your words, but you cannot control your breath. When genuine desire takes hold, when a woman is aroused or deeply drawn to you, her breathing alters. It's instinctive, primal, and beyond conscious control. Her body is preparing for something it hasn't articulated yet. If you know how to observe it, you can read her like an open book. It starts subtly, a deeper inhale when you lean in close, a quick, sharp breath when your hand brushes hers, a soft, almost inaudible sigh when you maintain eye contact just a moment too long. You might still be talking, but her body has already departed the conversation. Then, it becomes undeniable. Her breathing rhythm shifts. Instead of steady, casual breaths, you begin to hear a softer, slower pace. Her chest rises and falls with greater weight. Sometimes, she might even hold her breath when you're speaking, as if she doesn't want to miss a single word. It's not about the topic, it's about you. And here's the critical point. This isn't just arousal, it's vulnerability. Breathing is one of the most personal, intimate tells a person can reveal. When it changes in your presence, it's her body's way of saying, you affect me. You've reached me in a way I cannot disguise. Most men completely overlook this. Too focused on superficial aspects, the jokes, the smiles, the words, to notice the underlying rhythm. But the man who does, he doesn't just hear her breathing. He hears her body speaking the truth she won't dare to utter. What do you do with this information? You don't rush. You don't comment on it. You allow the tension to escalate. You slow your own rhythm to match hers, speaking with longer pauses, leaning back just enough to invite her to lean in. You create space for the desire to simmer, rather than boiling over too quickly. This is where true seduction resides, not in the kiss, not in the touch, but in the unbearable anticipation of two people breathing in sync, caught in a moment neither wishes to end. When her breathing changes, she isn't just engaged, she's surrendering to the moment. Point 6. She mirrors your movements. Unconsciously you take a sip of your drink. Moments later, she takes a sip of hers. You cross your legs. Soon after, hers shift in the same manner. You lean in slightly, and she mirrors your posture, as if drawn by an invisible thread. This isn't coincidence. It's mirroring, one of the most potent unconscious indicators of deep attraction. When someone is captivated by you, their body naturally synchronizes with yours. It's biological, a fundamental way humans build connection without words. Her subconscious is communicating. I'm with you. I'm aligned with you. I want to be in your world. You'll observe it everywhere if you know what to look for. If you lean back casually, she relaxes into her chair. If you gesture with your hands, she'll do the same shortly after. Even her speech might subtly change, matching your tone, your pace, and even your favorite phrases. It's subtle enough that you might miss it if you're not paying attention. But when you do notice it, it's intoxicating, because mirroring isn't merely imitation, it's emotional alignment. It signifies that she has lowered her guard. She's allowing her body to follow yours, as if you're leading a dance she didn't even realize she was in. And here's where most men spoil it. They disrupt the rhythm, they overthink, they become nervous and shift erratically, or they comment on it, pulling her out of the moment. A stoic man doesn't. He remains deliberate with his movements, slow, confident, grounded. He allows her to match his pace, understanding that every mirrored gesture is a sign she's deepening her connection. The beauty of mirroring is that the more she does it, the less she's aware of it. It becomes second nature. And when a woman is that attuned to you, it's not just attraction, it's surrender. When you notice her mirroring you, you're not just reading her. You're leading her. Which of these signs have you recognized before? And did you truly understand their meaning at the time? Share your thoughts in the comments below.